Week 2 of the 2022-23 NBA season has been both thrilling and perplexing. Nothing has been more enjoyable than watching the Utah Jazz win their first 3 games against quality opposition. Currently, the Jazz are one of the league's 4 unbeaten teams. But hold on, how is that possible? And how did the Portland Trail Blazers, who had a terrible preseason, join them? Also, what is going on with the Lakers? Will they ever be able to get back to their superstar performance? Let's find out together. Now, this NBA season has been nothing short of interesting, with various big teams dropping down the ranks at rapid speeds. So let's take a look at the power rankings for Week 2. In its first week, the NBA hierarchy for 2022-23 already saw several major changes. With a 4-0 start, the Portland Trail Blazers have established an early lead in the race for the title of the biggest surprise of the season. The Phoenix Suns and Denver Nuggets, who are at the top of this week's rankings, were 2 Western Conference foes that Damian Lillard and company not only beat, but also significantly defeated. With 3 victories over teams with winning records, including Denver and the Minnesota Timberwolves, the Utah Jazz joined Portland in the unexpectedly unbeaten club before losing to the Houston Rockets. Additionally, the Los Angeles Lakers started the season 0-3 and lost from beyond the three-point arc. So let's take a look at the power rankings, which are sure to surprise you. First up, the Milwaukee Bucks. The Bucks offense could be a drag without Chris Middleton and Pat Connaughton, as shown by their opening night win over Philadelphia, but Giannis Antetokounmpo appears prepared to step up to the plate. Antetokounmpo scored a total of 40 points in less than 30 minutes of play for the first time in his NBA career against the Rockets, scoring 44 points on 81% shooting and adding 12 rebounds in 28 minutes. Pretty impressive, right? And it has certainly helped the Bucks significantly when it comes to their ranking, as you can see. Coming in second, the Boston Celtics. With the exception of Monday's loss to the Bulls, Boston has had a very strong start to the season. The Celtics have looked like they haven't missed a step since their run to the NBA Finals last season, even while they get used to playing for interim coach Joe Mazzulla. Coming off the bench, Malcolm Brogdon in particular has been a perfect fit for Boston, offering them the kind of off-the-dribble energy they lacked throughout the playoffs. Next, the Portland Trail Blazers. Something is cooking in Portland. The Blazers are 4-0 after defeating the Suns in overtime, beating the Lakers by 2 points, and dominating the Nuggets. Anthony Simmons hit 7 3-pointers against Denver, Yusuf Nurkic is healthy, and Jeremy Grant, an off-season acquisition, is beginning to blend in. Damian Lillard has had 2 games with 41 points or more. The Phoenix Suns are up next. What a roller coaster of emotions the Sun players experienced this week after they defeated the Clippers, Warriors, and Mavs to put to bed any notions of off-season deterioration. The victory over Golden State was a 29-point hammering, which may have been a sign of things to come for the Phoenix season. They are arguably performing better than they ever have, and we could even potentially see them soar to the top spot. Next up, the Memphis Grizzlies. In Monday's victory over the Nets, Ja Morant and Desmond Bane combined for 76 points, shattering Memphis's franchise record for a pair's combined scoring output. For Morant, who leads the league in scoring, the extraordinary performance has quickly become a regular occurrence, with an average of 35.3 points per game. Furthermore, against Brooklyn, Bane, who the Grizzlies think can advance to the All-Star level this season, snapped out of his shooting slump, making more goals, 14 of 21, and 3-pointers, 8 of 11, than he had in the previous 3 games combined. So we could very well see the Grizzlies move up the rankings as the season unfolds. In the 6th spot, the Golden State Warriors. Klay Thompson was recently sent off the court for the first time in his professional career after Golden State's loss to the Suns. Then, on Tuesday night, Draymond Green described his club as a good offensive team and a horrible defensive team. And he is right. The Warriors have let their opponents score at least 70 points in the first half in 3 of their previous 4 games. Next up, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, it's easy to see that Donovan Mitchell is a perfect fit for the Cavaliers, and it also appears that his arrival was pretty timely because they haven't had Darius Garland for a few games, and maybe more. Despite losing to the Raptors in the first game, they defeated the Bulls and the Wizards in the following 2 games. 8th on the list, the LA Clippers. Now, it could be some time before the Clippers see their true potential shine through. Kawhi Leonard, who will return to Los Angeles and miss both games against Oklahoma City due to stiffness in his surgically repaired knee, is causing early concern. Leonard had previously played 3 stints totaling 21 minutes, twice, and 28 minutes when he came off the bench. Additionally, Reggie Jackson has been dealing with a groin problem, Paul George missed Tuesday's game with a non-COVID sickness, and John Wall has looked good in his limited playing time. To add to all of this, the Clippers have a busy schedule with 18 games in 32 days beginning on Sunday, so will they be able to keep up a strong performance, or will the team continue to crack under the pressure? 9th on the list is the New Orleans Pelicans. Returning to the court is Zion Williamson. Williamson made waves in his first 3 games despite sitting out Tuesday night's game due to a right posterior hip lower back injury. He has scored at least 25 points, averaged a 50% shooting rate over the first 3 games, showing that he is back to being a physical presence on the court. In 88 games over his career, he had accomplished this feat 48 times. In their first 100 games of their careers, only Walt Bellamy and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had such games, and Williamson still has 12 to play. And taking the 10th spot, the Denver Nuggets. Even though the Nuggets fell to the Jazz, they rebounded well against the Warriors by scoring 70 points. With 2 triple-doubles already under his belt, Nikola Jokic has tied Wilt Chamberlain for the most triple-doubles by a center in the history of the NBA. So as you can see, they have a very strong chance of moving up the rankings and giving the top teams a run for their money. Next up, the Atlanta Hawks. Although the Trae Young-DeJounte Murray connection will take time to develop, early results for the Hawks are promising. Despite his poor shooting, Young averages 25.3 points and 11.7 assists per game, and in his first 3 games as a Hawk, Murray has averaged 19.7 points, 7.3 rebounds, 8.3 assists, and 3.3 steals. Young and Murray are the only teammates since 2000 to each have finished in the top 10 in the league in terms of total assists. Impressive, right? In the 12th spot is the Utah Jazz. According to the official ESPN stats, the Jazz started 3-0 despite being the clear underdogs in each game. This makes them the second team in the last 3 decades to accomplish this impressive feat. The other team was the 76ers in 2013-14, who finished 19-63. Additionally, following his outstanding Eurobasket performance for Finland, Lauri Markkanen is off to a fantastic start in Utah, with an average of 21.5 points per game and 8.8 rebounds per game. Next up, the New York Knicks. This season, Jalen Brunson has exceeded expectations for the Knicks thus far, averaging 17 points, 7 assists, only 1 turnover, and most importantly, a steady hand behind the wheel through 3 games. The Knicks are off to a very good start. A major factor is Brunson. Coming in 14th are the Toronto Raptors. Toronto has had the toughest start of any Eastern Conference club, facing Brooklyn and Miami on the road after playing Cleveland at home twice. What benefit does the Raptors' 2-2 record throughout the span provide? A home baseball series versus Philadelphia, followed on Halloween by a visit from Trae Young and the Hawks. It captures the challenges that daily living in the conference will provide in the most perfect way. Next up, the Washington Wizards. It's best to wait before passing judgment on Washington's start to this season, since the Wizards had a 10-3 start last year. Bradley Beal hasn't had to do any heavy lifting by assisting his teammates and averaging 6 so far. Also, Kyle Kuzma is off to a strong start, scoring at least 22 points in 3 of his first 4 games. Kristaps Porzingis has maintained his health, so there is a very big chance the Wizards will move up in the rankings as the season progresses. Finally, the 16th spot goes to the San Antonio Spurs. Greg Popovich made light of the fact that nobody ought to travel to Las Vegas to place wagers on the Spurs to win the NBA title, but San Antonio has gotten off to a 3-1 start despite his joke. After an unimpressive home defeat to the Hornets to open the season, San Antonio won 3 straight away games against Indiana, Philadelphia, and Minnesota. Devin Vassell has scored only 20 points in 3 straight games, averaging 22.7 points per game during the winning run. Now you may be wondering, where exactly are the Lakers on this list? Well, as you may have seen, they are experiencing a horrible season despite only being 3 games deep. Now things aren't just bad, they are historically bad for the once legendary team. The Lakers' 21.2% performance from beyond the arc in their 0-3 season opening record is the second worst of all time, following closely behind the Hawks' 21% in 2018. Currently, they are ranked 25th, which is truly shocking for what we are used to seeing with this team. There you have it, everything you need to know about the NBA Power Rankings in the second week of the 2022-23 season. Now, make sure to let us know your thoughts down below, and as always, thanks for watching.